Good afternoon and welcome to the first of our customer classes. My name is Jane Dupree and I'm the Product Marketing Manager at Snapcoms. As you know, today's class is on our new Screensaver interface. We've made some great improvements to the Snapcoms Screensaver, which makes it 100 times easier to create beautiful, engaging screensavers that get employee attention. Let me take you through the agenda for this class. We'll start with a quick reminder about the power of screensavers. I'll show you what has changed in the Content Manager Screensaver interface. I'll take you through the software prerequisites, both server and client side, to use the new Screensaver interface. Then the fun starts. We'll get hands-on and learn how to use the new interface to create basic screensavers using single images, a slideshow of images, and videos. Then we'll build on that knowledge to create even more engaging, advanced or hybrid screensavers. Finally, we'll circle back and recap with some screensaver best practice. Why screensavers? Well, what are they? Screensavers are full screen pictures, animations or videos that display when computer screens are idle. And we all know that pictures speak 1,000 words. So screensavers let you use pictures to get your message across to employees in seconds. Screensavers can be used for instructing, informing, reminding, or simply entertaining staff when they're in downtime and hence more receptive to messages on idle screens. You can also use links in screensaver pictures to signpost content. That is to direct employees to important new information on your intranet or on a web page, or even to a survey you would like them to complete. Screensavers in an open plan office brighten up the office area with effective ambient advertising. By ambient, I mean passive. Screensavers are a passive type of communication. Last but not least, a major benefit of a screensaver over traditional static printed signs is that it's so easy to update the information, especially now. So what has changed? It is how you create the screensavers in the Content Manager that has changed, and this makes producing those beautiful attention-grabbing screensavers so much easier. If you've used Snapcoms screensavers before, you'll recognize this screen where you needed to decide up front what type of screensaver you wanted and then work through a number of entry fields and tabs to get to the point of publishing. With the new screensaver interface, everything happens on this one screen. And the new auto-save feature saves your work as you go. No more save buttons. I hope that is making you all smile. Let's look at the prerequisites. As you know, Snapcoms is a two-part solution. It's a server-client relationship. The first part, shown on the left, is the Content Manager. It's hosted on our cloud or on your premise. The new Screensaver interface is available now on our cloud solution, and it's available in the latest version of our server software, which is version 16.11.9121. That was released 2 weeks ago, middle of November. The second part, shown now on the right, is the Snapcoms client that has recently been relaunched and renamed as the Snapcoms app. This is installed on staff computers to receive Snapcoms messages and to enjoy all the best features of the new screensavers. Your staff must have the new Snapcoms app version 17.1 or higher. How do you know if you've got the new app or not? Well, the new app has a very distinguishable new look. The old message list, shown on the left here, has been replaced by the new look on the right, which takes a badge count, which includes a badge count on the icon in the task tray, which lets your staff know how many unread messages they have. All right, it's time for the class, time to start creating some screensavers. I'm going to open the Content Manager. Before we get started, let's have a look at the Snapcoms app that I have just spoken about. I have it installed. You can see it in my task tray, and I have 2 unread messages. If I open it up, I can see the list of my messages. You can immediately recognize the new look. One of my favorite features is the refresh button, which allows you to refresh, in other words, check for new messages. You get a little animation showing that that has happened. We've also got some new sorting options. You can choose to only view unread messages. You can sort by date. That is the default, just sort by date, newest messages first. You can sort by name, or you can sort by type. You'll also notice this new icon. This is for panic messages. We call this our panic button. It is a brand new feature at SnapComms. It allows your staff to trigger emergency messaging from the app. I'm not going to go into that any detail now. If you do have questions or if you're interested, please contact your customer success manager. Okay, time to create a screensaver. So I'm logged into the SnapComms Content Manager. For those of you using our cloud, you will recognize this interface. We call this our snappier look, and it was launched in July 2016. If you are on local software, so if your solution is hosted on premise, you may still be seeing older version of our software. Reach out to us and we'll help you upgrade to this new snappier look. First step is you create message. You select the folder where you want to add the new screensaver. You select the screensaver type. If you don't see anything on this screen, it's because the new interface is hidden as it's not supported by all your connecting users. That means that not all your users have the new app. Click to show the template anyway. It's fine to carry on and use it for testing purposes. Again, you'll see a warning that this template is not supported by all your connecting users. Like I said, it's fine to use it for testing purposes. I'm going to call this screensaver Annual Tidy Up Reminder. And I click Create. Here you get the first look at the new screensaver interface. Let's get orientated on the new look. Starting on the top right, you have breadcrumb navigation showing you the folder you're working in. That's my screensaver folder, and the screensaver name, Annual Tidy Up Reminder. Moving to the left, again you'll see the name. You can click on it and edit that in line. The big white area in the middle is called the designer canvas, and this is where you design the screensaver, and you'll see that it's highlighted in the bottom navigation as that's what you're looking at the moment. Also on the bottom navigation you can set the target users, you can set the target dates, you can preview your screensaver and then publish. I'm going to ignore these drag and drop elements on the right hand side of the designer screen while we are creating some basic screensavers. These options are used later for hybrid or advanced screensavers. But you will notice that the background is currently set to none, and there are some screensaver settings which I'll explain a bit later. Now, setting a background is mandatory, and you won't be able to publish the screensaver if you have not done so. So when I said a basic screensaver, what do I mean by that? It is a screensaver where we only use the background to create the screensaver. So we set the background as an image or a slideshow or a video or a web page or a background color, and that is the entirety of the screensaver. Let's kick off with the background image for a basic screensaver. Now, you'd use this when you have a pre-prepared image that's ready to use as a screensaver. Perhaps you've created this image in PowerPoint or in Photoshop, and all you're wanting to do is to display that image as a screensaver. Click Image. File I want to use is Hospital Screensaver. The file uploads. You say Set Background. Notice how there is no need to save your work. It is saved automatically. You can also clear the background you have set by clicking the delete icon. To undo that change, you simply click the undo button and the background comes back. Now my image says click to find out more. So we need to add a hyperlink to the screensaver. To do that, click the background settings cog and add the URL. Now let's look at target users. Target by groups, and I'm going to choose Jane's group. To target individual users, you need to switch to advanced targeting, where you'll recognize this interface, choose your users, and you can select individual users. However, I'm happy with my group targeting. Looking at target dates, the default setting for screensavers is to publish immediately for 1 week, and that is at the end user's computer time. To use repeat scheduling or advanced scheduling, you need to switch on your date targeting. You use repeat scheduling, and here I could set my screensaver to run every Monday, perhaps for a couple of hours. For this example, I'm happy with immediate publishing for 1 week. Now it's time to preview the screensaver. Now the preview shows you exactly how the screensaver will appear when it's published full screen to your staff. Here you can check that your link is working. That looks fine. So I'm going to close the preview and go back to the designer. Before we publish, let's look at the screensaver settings. Opening this tab, I see a couple of fields. Here again I can edit the screensaver name. I can add a description if required. Designer zoom refers to the view that you're seeing as the screensaver designer in the content manager. The default is fit to screen. As you can see, all elements are neatly fitted to my screen. If I change to actual size, it resizes to the pixel size of the image, and that may result in you having to scroll. Like I said, fit to screen is a great default. In terms of screen fit, this refers to how the screensaver fits on the end user's screen. The default is stretch and fill, and this resizes the width of the image to fit the screen so that there are no spaces around the edge of the image. Exit behavior, this refers to how the end user interacts with the screensaver to remove it from the screen. The default is the escape key, and it's best in all cases except if you're publishing screensavers to touch screens, which of course don't have a keyboard. In that case, you would use any movement so that anybody touching the screen would dismiss it. Another point to consider is that if you do have links in your screensaver like we do, you do need to use your mouse to access the link. Therefore, any movement is not appropriate because the movement will dismiss the screensaver before the user can click the link. Duration is only relevant if there's more than one screensaver running, and it controls how many seconds the screensaver is on screen before changing to the next one. The default is 30 seconds, but you can set that for as long as you wish. Just some general considerations: if perhaps your screensaver is running a video which is 2 minutes long, then the duration for this particular screensaver should be at least 2 minutes to run the full video. I'm done with my settings. I'm going to click Publish. I'm asked to review my settings. I'm targeting Jane's group immediately for a week, and I click Publish. You'll notice a loading icon as the screensaver is sent, and we're waiting for a confirmation, which will come up top right. There it is, screensaver published. Success. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you the published screensaver running on my PC as it interferes with the GoToWebinar software, but it looks and behaves exactly like the preview. What I can show you is the screensaver in the message list. There it is. Well, that was easy, but let me recap quickly from the beginning without all my teacher comments, just to prove how easy it is to use this new interface. I'm going to clear the background and start from the beginning. Select image. Because I've already uploaded this image, it is available for me to reuse. I'm going to add my link. Going to preview, check that link, exit the preview, set the target users, which I'm happy with Jane's group, set the target dates, happy with 1 week starting immediately, and I publish. Right, next we're going to create a slideshow screensaver. Now, as the name implies, this is a screensaver with more than one image. So let's return to the dashboard to start the process again. Select Create Content, select the folder you want to work in, then select Screensaver, reveal all the templates, select Screensaver. I will name this slideshow IT Security. Click Create. We're presented with the same designer canvas and I select Slideshow. Again, I'm asked to add some images. The files I want are in this particular folder. I hold down the Control key to multiple select and the files are uploaded. Notice that once they're uploaded, I can drag and drop to reorder them, or I can add additional images, or I can delete some of them. The transition effect is how the images appear on the screen. By default, it is none, which means they just appear, but I would prefer a fade transition. The speed is how long each image is on screen before changing to the next. The default is 2 seconds, which is relatively fast. Because I have words on my images that I'd like my audience to read and consider, I'm going to change this to 5 seconds. Again, you can make a screensaver clickable to a link. So I'm going to go and choose my link, paste it in, and set the background. The slides load into the designer. I can move on, set my target users. Again, I'm going to use Jane's group. I'm not even going to interact with the target dates tab because I'm very happy with setting that immediately for 1 week. I'm going to preview my screensaver. Notice the fade after 5 seconds. That hasn't loaded properly. That's better. And I'm ready to publish. There's the loading icon. And we have successfully published. So I told you it was easy. The next one we're going to do is the video screensaver. Let's clear that. This time I'm going to show you a different way to start the process. If we use the breadcrumb to return to the screensaver folder, we can use the Create Content from the folder that we've already selected. Same process, select Screensaver, and for this example I'm going to use the SnapComms overview video. Pretty obviously we're going to click the video button, and now it's time to choose which video. Here we have the option of using a video hosted on YouTube or video hosted on Vimeo. Just to note, previously our video screensaver did allow locally hosted files. we do intend to reintroduce that into this new interface. That will be coming soon. My video is hosted on YouTube. The instructions tell me to get the ID from the URL of the YouTube video. So I have YouTube open. That is the ID that is mentioned. Copy it, paste it, and set the video. You'll notice that that ID has been placed into the URL that the screensaver is going to reference. The video will load full screen in the background. From here, same process, target users, target dates. Once again, I'm happy with immediately for 1 week. Preview. All looks to be playing fine. Before I publish, I'll just discuss sound and autoplay. By default, screensavers will play the videos on YouTube or Vimeo with sound, and they will auto start. However, this can be changed. I mean, obviously that's ideal for a screensaver where you don't want to ask the user to press play. You want to, in fact, surprise them with a video playing on their screen. If you did want to change that behavior, though, you would simply choose settings, and instead of autoplay 1, you would change that to autoplay 0. 0 is false, 1 is true. Set the background, and now you have a play button. I want to undo that though. That's all done. Similarly, you can change mute to on or off. The last basic screensaver is the web page. Now, this is quite a unique use case, and it allows you to display a particular web page as a screensaver. An example might be if you have your company share price published to a live web page, you may want that page to display as a screensaver. Let's start the process again. Go to the screensaver folder, create content, this one's going to be called Quake. As you probably know, I'm based in New Zealand, and our little islands have had quite a few shakes in the last few weeks. So perhaps I would want to publish a web page displaying the latest earthquakes that have happened in New Zealand. I select web page, I paste in my URL, and I set background. The web page loads full screen as a screensaver. If I preview that, that looks great. It looks like the middle of the country did have another shake about an hour ago. Didn't feel that here, thank goodness. Close the preview, set the target users. Oops, don't need that. Target date I'm happy with, and I would publish. Now, this is a fantastic feature, but there are some technical limitations imposed by some websites which may prevent the website from being displayed in the screensaver. The main thing is that the website you're trying to, or the web page you're trying to display needs to be iframe friendly. Iframe is the technology we use to display somebody else's website within the screensaver. Now, you'll know immediately if it isn't iframe friendly, as the web page won't load in this designer mode. At that point, doesn't mean it's never going to work. I would suggest you contact the web page owner at your organization, explain what you're wanting to do, and request that they perhaps work with you to make the page iframe friendly for you to use in your screensaver. Finally, that leads us onto color, and this is where we introduce advanced screensavers. Looking at the right-hand side of the designer screen, these elements can be dropped on top of any of your backgrounds that we've already discussed. But a video or a slideshow as a background is unlikely to be what you're after. Let's imagine we want to design a screensaver to remind everybody about this screensaver class. We want to include a logo, a headline, a video, and a call to action. So now's the time to use an advanced screensaver. It's also called a hybrid screensaver because it's a combination of a background and other elements placed on top. This time I'm going to show you the finished screensaver first, then we'll look at exactly how I created it. Returning to my screensaver folder, the screensaver we're going to look at is called Class Reminder. I'm going to put that into preview mode and give you a few seconds to digest. Okay, now let's pull it apart. Let's start with the background. I've chosen a black background color to help contrast the elements that will be added, that have been added on top. But let's try changing that to see if another color looks better. So the background is the color is a background. So if I go to background settings and I clear the background, you'll notice that I can now select color background, and I'm going to try gray. Set that color. No, I'm not happy with that. I much prefer the black. So I'm going to undo my changes until it returns to black. That's much better. Now let's look at the headline. Don't forget the screensaver class. This is simply text that I have dropped on top of the background by clicking on the text icon or dragging it to more or less where I want to place it. I'm not going to do that because I already have some text. Let's have a look. You simply click on it. You'll see what I've done here. I have made it 72 pixels large. The font is Arial. Now, just a note on these fonts. These are the default fonts that are available. However, if your organization has a custom font for your corporate branding, we can upload that for you if you supply the web font version of that, and that will then become available for all screensavers that you create. You could also put a link onto this headline. You'd simply highlight the headline and choose the insert hyperlink icon. I can align the text right, center, or left. And now just a note on how to position or move the text. You grab the handle and you move it left or right or up or down. Now, I'm hoping you can notice there's a very fine crosshair where I'm pointing. That's the indicator of where the text will be placed. So I'm going to put it back in the corner. When I click off it, that's where my text is placed. Then I've added the video, which is hosted on YouTube. If I click the video, you'll notice some settings. If I open those settings, you'll see the familiar interface that we used when we set a video background. I'm happy with that, so I'm going to close it. If I wanted to add another video, all I would do is click or drag the video icon and then start again by adding my video link. Let's get rid of that. Next, let's look at the SnapComms logo, which is an image. You can either, again, drag the image or simply click to add the image. And you'll notice the familiar interface to select an image for your screensaver. In this case, I've used a transparent white logo, which contrasts beautifully on the background. Again, I can reposition the image as I choose. Notice these arrows bring forward, send back. I have brought my logo to the front, which means that I can actually position it in front of anything else on the screen. That layering applies to all of these features on the right. Finally, let's look at my call to action. That big orange circle is an image, and my click to register is text, which I have added a hyperlink to. This is my example of an advanced screensaver. I'm sure you're going to have many ideas yourself. Now, some of you may have noticed that there is one final feature which I haven't spoken about yet. That is our ticker, which has always been very popular in a screensaver. So I'm going to return to the screensaver folder, and let's have a look at this screensaver I've created with the ticker. It's called Jump. Now, this screensaver is just really fun. This is what you'd use for entertaining staff as such. And you'll notice that there are two tickers running on this over this background. So this image is a background image. I can clear it to set another image. Undo that, returns my image. And let's look at how I created those tickers. If I click on it, that's interesting. That's the one I'm editing. We had a lot of fun. If I look at the settings, you will see that that ticker is rolling up at a medium speed. That's done. Again, I can set the layering, so if I send that backwards, then that ticker should actually filter behind that top one as they intersect. Some great effects that you can create. You can make those tickers clickable, so you can add links to your tickers to let people find out more about the information. So that concludes the classroom part of this session. I'm going to return to my slides, and we're going to talk about some general screensaver best practice. Now, we recommend that you create snack-sized content, which is digestible at a glance. What we mean specifically by that is headlines should be fewer than 7 words, and you should use a strong visual, a strong graphic, strong image to draw people's attention. If you don't have any of your own, try royalty-free stock photography sites to source your images. Keep your screensavers fresh, maximum 2-week lifespan, so you need to keep them up long enough to register, so to give people the chance to see them on their idle screens, but not so long that they become wallpaper. Also consider that if your screensaver does have a date in it, like the one I've just shown you about the training, please be sure that you set the screensaver to expire, so therefore be removed from people's screens on the date that the event takes place. There's nothing worse than seeing out-of-date information. In terms of resolution, for optimal display on larger screens, make sure that your images, the images that you upload, are at least as large as the biggest screen that they will appear on. If you're not sure, we recommend using 1600 by 900 pixels or larger. All the images that you saw in my examples today were 16 by 900 pixels wide. Use our default settings. I've explained specifically the exit behavior, where we have put the default as the escape key. I'll just recap. The exception there is on touchscreens where there is no keyboard, and the other default we recommend is the screen fit. That's the end user's screen, so that you design so that the images stretch and fill their screen. Now, something that might seem obvious is to consider confidentiality. Will your screensavers be seen by anyone else other than employees? For example, are the screens in public entrance areas? If so, you need to avoid featuring commercially sensitive or confidential messages on those screens. But SnapComms makes that easy for you through our targeting screens. You could simply exclude those public-facing screens from your targeting group. Limit your links to 2. So too many calls to action can lead to employee inertia. That's human nature. If you give people too many options, they generally won't do anything. So if you have links in your screensaver, keep it limited to 2. And finally, consider the slideshow duration if text is to be read. You saw in the slideshow I created that there was some text on my images, so I slowed the animation down to 5 seconds. Okay, looking at other resources, there are some handouts with this webinar. Please contact your customer success manager to get hold of them. They are the SnapComms 101 guide for screensavers, and that generally covers everything I've covered today, best practice, governance, implementation tips, as well as the brief user guide. I've also included the SnapComms app for Windows Why Upgrade marketing sheet. That's useful to take to your IT team to get their buy-in to upgrading. Not only does the new app allow this new screensaver functionality, but it opens the doors to a whole lot of absolutely fantastic on-screen animation, which is really good at engaging your staff. There are also some pretty tight security reasons why the upgrade is recommended. Browser security is just one of those. This deck is available too if you'd like a copy of that. Of course, there is our SnapComms knowledge base where there is a very full and detailed screensaver user guide. There's also a video demonstration. That's just a 5-minute demonstration of the capability of the screensaver. Otherwise, speak to Ellen or Rhea or myself about your ideas. We at SnapComms are really excited about this improvement we've made, but we're always keen to hear what else we can do to help you. And don't forget, there is our tech support team if you have any technical issues with the screensaver. So just to recap, what are the next steps? You do need to upgrade to the new app. Contact your customer success manager for that. If you're using on-premise software, you will definitely need to upgrade to that. And the sky's the limit when it comes to creating content with this new format. So have a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.